the message after that final quarter? They went on a 15-1 run. Offense wasn't going. What did you see in that opening?
It's a combination of a lot of things. We started turning the ball over a couple times, and we gave it to them. So it's turning the ball over. It's not just helping. It's not helping them to convert the score. It's also teams just the mentally goes down, and then they got a. We had a couple look. We couldn't make it. We forced shots. On the defensive end, if you can't do on offensive end, you got to get some stops on defensive end. We didn't get defensive end, get some stops, and it wasn't just our day. That's all.
And then just a quick follow-up. What did you just think of the transitional play that you guys had in the first half?
What do you mean?
Just the transitional offense that you guys were able to create early on to get your points going and get the offense going. What was just your overall thoughts on that? Trying to get back into transitional play to start the game?
Well, you got to get stop if you get a transition offense. So if you don't get a stop, you can't run anything transition. So we didn't get stop. We didn't have transition points. Just follow each other's up. That's why we couldn't get any transition more.
Obviously, the last time you guys were here, it was James's last game at Wintrust with the team. Any lingering emotions that you needed to address before the game?
No, I don't think so. Everybody move on. I think everything's just moving on and everything's going well. I think it's just a game that we lost. It's just, we didn't do the things that we should do. It's just, that's okay. And we're gonna see what we can improve, what we can get better for the next game. And I told the guys, so I'm not talking about winning and losing. Did we execute it well? Did we do the right things? And one thing we did really good job on, we've been talking about sending people free throw line. We only send them 13 times. So I told them I'm proud of them. They only send them 13 times. This is the team that most taken free throws. So we held them in 13 fouls. That's been our problem. So I'm proud of the little process. So
just kind of going off of that, in the half court, it seemed like the spacing over the last few games has really improved. Is that something that you all have been working on in press, just trying to open up the offense a little bit more?
Yes, but if we can pass it, that would be even better. So that was I felt like corners was wide open today. They junked the paint, and we could have passed the corners. And if we get there, hopefully we're gonna get there. That's the name of the progress. So we'll see the video. We watched the video. I told them I want this only 2 hours to digest, and then move on. Next one.
Hey, Coach, how did you feel about the offense's shot quality that you all were able to generate today?
Yeah, we did. Wow, our shot quality is just 50-50. We got some contested shots. We fall in all those contested shots. We talked about it, and they know it, and they trying. But we got to get more. So, and against this kind of teams, it's just if you don't punish, it's not gonna take you anywhere. So we gotta get there. We gotta make those extra passes. We're gonna play for each other. That's another goal for next game. So we'll see what we can do.
And then the Dream are one of the more dynamic half-court offensive teams in the league. How did you feel, of course, outside of the turnovers, the self-inflicted things? How did you feel you guys did in terms of guarding?
That's why we didn't get stops. So we didn't guard their shooters. We didn't guard their drivers. I felt like we didn't do our job on the personnel. Gray beat us with the left hand a couple times, and Howard got right hand, and Cheyenne got offensive rebounds, and they did what they usually good at it. So we weren't, but it wasn't our game. Elizabeth played great game the game before, and she missed some bunnies. It's okay. It's just sometimes not going in. It is what it is, right?
When you talk about missing some of those opportunities in the corner, where do you think that was coming from? Was it a breakdown from the guards? Was it from post players not spraying out?
A combination of both, and we didn't set a good screens for our guards, and we didn't turn the corners. When we did it, Kalia Copper turned the corner a couple of times and get bucket on the basket. So that's just a chain effect. So guards, and so if you don't set a good screen for guards, guards settle for those jumpers. I mean, it has to move again, but so it's a combination of both. We didn't set good screens for our guards today. So literally Atlanta was playing. I mean, they have been playing like that. They just going under the screens. They even exaggerated today. They just all the way under, and we settled those shots instead of setting good screens and executing the plays. So.
And then you mentioned Cheyenne Parker. She was named an All-Star this year. Just kind of, what have you seen from her growth since her time here in Chicago?
Oh yeah, it's huge. It's huge. She's one of the best post players in the league right now. One of the elite ones. And she's relentlessly going offensive rebound, and that's what she's good at it. And you got to stop her, and she's doing an amazing job. We're proud of her. But she's not my player anymore, so she's not our player anymore. So I'm just proud.
And last quick one, Ruthie available today but didn't get into the game. Were there any hang-ups there, any setbacks, or was that just a
No, it's just, I mean, that's like a team progress. It's a play progress. She just only played did two practice, and it hasn't been in the game of basketball five months or something like that. You can't expect to immediately come back. She's good. She's great. She played in the practice. She looked really good. We had a great talk, but it's a process too. Like you can't just immediately jump in after 5 months. It's just going to process. And somebody's practicing more than her at the moment and deserve more minutes, and I choose to do that.
All right, one more quick follow up for you. So you mentioned with the unders from Atlanta, was there something specifically that you guys weren't getting into, like a subsequent automatic, or was it just like?
Excuse me, I didn't understand the question. Can you repeat it?
So you mentioned the unders from Atlanta.
Going under?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
sure.
Was it that you guys weren't getting into your like automatics and it was kind of flattening you guys out, or was it just a lack of ball movement? Like, how would you counter to that for like next game?
Well, it's you got to set a lower screen. You got to set a better screen, and we talked about it in the timeout. So, and we didn't do those lower screens. We didn't get underneath the even more, And if they go under somewhere, you just got to move the screen a little bit higher so that if they go under, you can knock down that shot. Well, we didn't do it. So anytime we turn the corner, we just meet with them right there and jack the shots over them. So it's a bad shot. You shouldn't take that. But I mean, I said, like, they're trying hard. They're doing really good job in the practice. So they're improving. We have to keep improving, and that's part of the process.
No hands on Zoom. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
like to start? Carly first.
Dana, we've talked about your defensive intensity all season long, but you were really disruptive early on in the first half. What is that? Is that something that you've really wanted to hone in on, especially over these last 3 games, is not just bringing energy off the bench, but defensive energy off the bench?
Defensively, yeah, I think that's a part where I can pick us up at and just turn the energy around and just give us a spark and kind of just get things going. And that's kind of how I play too, just playing on my defense, worrying about that, and I think everything else take care of itself.
What's just your assessment of what went wrong in the fourth quarter, especially to start off?
I mean, they made shots. We didn't make shots. They got some key offensive rebounds at big possessions where we would get a stop, but it'll be a dagger because they'll get the rebound and lay it in. It's just things like that, just closing the possession off, rebounding, and just stand in front of our man. I think they just started to attack us. They wasn't really running sets. It was just attacking, and we got to help each other. So that's pretty much it.
Dana, I mean, I know that Ruthie didn't play today, but I know that you two are close. I mean, what does it mean to just like you're inching closer to being able to share the court with her again?
I'm happy for her and excited for her. I know she's ready to get out there and show us what she can do. She's looking good in practice, so we know what we're going to get from her, but I'm sure they just want to be patient and smart and take their time with her. It's no rush, but I'm excited for her to be back on the court with us. She's going to help us.
And in terms of like the spacing, it feels like over the last few games, you all have kind of been able to figure things out a little bit more offensively, even as the shots aren't falling tonight. I mean, have you felt like the spacing kind of improved?
I do. I think the spacing improved. I think we got to use more of the floor, though. I think sometimes we get away from using the corners. We got some open shots late. We got an open 3 by Elena late, just didn't go in. It was a great shot, great pass. We got some great looks. They didn't go in, but yeah, just using the whole floor, using the corners for sure, because we got drivers that can attack the lane. And I think I can do a better job for sure getting in the lanes and making things happen instead of just worrying about getting a shot up or trying to score. I think I can get in there more and get us some easy looks, catch and shoot.
Dana, using the corners was something that Emre also brought up when he was speaking with us earlier. Just kind of what do you think was maybe getting missed both by the guards and then also just kind of where do you think missing those spots was coming from as a team as a whole?
I think it's just something that we just got to watch film and see it and just talk through it. I don't think nobody's doing anything on purpose. Sometimes you just miss players. You think you have a layup, but somebody's open, and we just got to see that. But we've been communicating and we've been talking to each other, so we know what to look for now.
Awesome. Thank you, Dana.
Thank you.
Elizabeth, Dana, and Emre both kind of talked to us just about feeling that the offense missed kind of the corners and just using the totality of the floor tonight. What was your perspective on that from the post?
Yeah, I would say the same. I mean, I thought our middle ball screens were a little more effective than on the side, but being able to make the read to the corner was important because we know Atlanta's going to pack the paint. They did it when we played in Atlanta. They do it against other opponents. So hopefully we'll make the adjustment on Sunday.
When a team packs the paint like that, how does that change kind of your assignments, your job when you're on offense?
I mean, I just have to make a couple more reads. That's really the biggest difference. But I mean, I still want to be mobile and still roll hard and force the defense to make some decisions. But yeah, just making some more reads.
Steven?
Hey, Elizabeth. The last couple of games, you've been making some plays off the short roll, not just necessarily rolling all the way to the basket, but spraying out the teammates. Has that been like a point of emphasis, skill wise, and development for you, or is that just kind of a flow in the game type of?
I mean, it's something we just didn't utilize as much until recently, and so we're just trying to use it more. So it is something that we've been working on, and yeah, I just try to make the right reads. We've got people that can score the ball, so I feel like as I get a better flow and understanding of the game and my teammates, like I'll continue to make those types of plays.
And then in the fourth quarter, it seems like things just kind of on its head in terms of where it was headed in the third. What did you see from the defense that kind of tailed off in that stretch of the game versus how it was in the second and third quarter?
I mean, I don't think we were as aggressive defensively. I think we were on our heels a little bit more in the fourth quarter, whereas, in the third, we were dictating a little more. And that's how we want to play. And when we win, we tend to dictate a little better. So, yeah.
We've talked a lot about Dana's energy that she brings off the bench, but what have you just seen out of her defensive growth, especially over these past 3 games off the bench? She's super disruptive, blocking almost any exit lane for the ball. Just what's your thoughts on what she can bring to this team defensively?
Yeah, Dana is awesome. I know opponents don't like bringing the ball up when she's on the floor. I mean, there were times Haley literally would pass the ball so someone else could bring it up. But that's a testament to her and how hard she's been playing defensively. And it's always good to see her shots going on offense as well, because the energy that she's going to bring on defense.
We'll go Zachary.
Hey, Elizabeth, I'm just kind of wondering what your thoughts were on the offensive end throughout the entire game. Obviously had some shooting. The team had some shooting woes in the beginning, started to climb back a little bit, and then kind of fell by the wayside as the game started to wind down. What's your overall assessment on the offense and what needs to be done going into Sunday?
Yeah, I think we took some tough shots and took some contested shots, and that obviously doesn't help your percentage. I mean, there are days where you're going to hit those, but those aren't the shots that we want to take. And so I think it's really going to be about sharing the ball, moving the ball, spreading the floor, making the defense move, and that'll help us offensively.
All right, no hands on Zoom. Thank you.
Thanks.